Okei, 3, 2, 1.
Woohoo!
Welcome.
To the second.
Front desk survivors here. Second episode or first episode. First episode was it was a pilot. Its name is Pilot.
So now this is the real one.
Yeah, it was
First one.
actually a little cringy to listen, just a little bit. We were nervous. Now we are hyped up, pumped up, and ready to make it to the next level.
Yeah,
to the second base.
To the second base. I told Jonas that I noticed that I only make noises. So today I will try to speak as well
up
in the podcast.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Also, people who prefer. All right, let's take it again. People who prefer to look at or watch us from YouTube, we have actually thrown the pop filters, pop filters out, and now we have these socks. I don't know how do you call this on front of the microphone, so you can see our faces better.
Yeah.
But you guys listening to the podcast from Spotify, let's get down, brother.
And sister.
And sister. All right, let's go. We are kind of. Oh, what you doing?
Just
adjusting.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
We're kind of covering or discovering 3 topics today. Let's see how much we're gonna scatter around those topics. But the first topic is very much common and very much probably common and well known topic for front desk agents. It's upgrade tries.
Yeah, tries from the customer perspective, like what kind of different things we hear, like what is the reason you should get an upgrade, and we're like,
exactly.
Yeah, sure.
And if we have obviously if we have someone listening who's not familiar with hospitality industry, then you're listening to a wrong podcast first of all.
Or get out.
Yeah, but yeah, upgrade is when you booked one room, let's say cheapest room, and then you want a bit better room, that's called an upgrade. All right, everybody probably knew that, but if someone did not,
now you know.
Yeah, now is the time to leave. All right, so I don't know, how does this situation usually happen? I believe usually and most often it is the situation that I just described, that it's the cheapest room that's been booked most probably through the cheapest channel, even though very much often and always it should be like, if you book directly with the hotel, you get the best price. It's not.
But sometimes there's campaign prices and so on hotels.com or something, booking.com and
stuff.
Yeah,
so those be the prices, which is kind of weird in a way.
Doesn't make sense, actually.
No, it doesn't. However, it's the cheapest room, and what are the reasons, or what are the reasons that you are familiar with for the upgrade? Why?
Like what they try to say, what is the reason? Yeah. Well, often you get a message after the customer has booked, like, hey, we are coming to your hotel because it's our special day. Often it's about birthdays, anniversaries, honeymoons, and so on and so on. Like, yeah, good for you that you go and travel because of your special occasion. But, like if you want something like, wow, extra, then maybe it's on you that you should get something extra as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, because you hear that so often, it like starts to get a bit like...
Yeah, anniversary is like, every other guest almost.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime or whatsoever, they are just like, yeah, we're having our anniversary. You don't really know if it's
true
and people,
or not.
and people who are not really having an anniversary or something like this. Well, how do you realize it? It's a couple coming to a hotel. You don't see, you don't ask. Nobody has a tattoo on their forehead that we got
married.
together. You don't know that, but people who are actually faking it takes the fun away or from people who are actually genuinely happy and like getting away from the normal day.
Yeah.
And then there are people that you really want to upgrade and you want to go the extra mile. But then there's people you don't want to.
Yeah, and I actually read on the secret spot Google that
secret Google. Okay.
that
that's
like
new.
How you get free upgrades on hotels, and it was the first thing was like, yeah, just tell that you're on your honeymoon or something, and then you also get free champagne and chocolate and blah blah blah. And I was like, don't, please.
That doesn't work on us.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we see through this.
No, we don't. Not always. Not always we do. Birthdays is easier, when you ask the ID and the credit card, you're like, hey, wait a second, it's not your birthday. Yeah, we're going to change your room.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, okay, you can try, of course. I don't necessarily upgrade them, but I maybe think, okay, I can give them a nice room within the same room category. So
yeah,
a bit nicer.
Yeah, that's easier. Easier. However, like I've used to deal with the upgrades, those upgrades which come like, beforehand when they make the reservation.
Yes.
But also those upgrades, I was very, very used to the idea that I check someone in, obviously to a like normal room with nothing special, and then they go to the room and they almost immediately come back and say that they want to change rooms, they want to upgrade. Most often they didn't even ask if there's, if they could pay for an upgrade. Usually they just wanted an upgrade.
Yeah.
There's a couple of problems with that. Obviously, they've been already to the old room. Like sometimes they might be there even an hour or two, and then then they realize like that's kind of the room is ruined in a way that they cannot just walk out and we can just sell it. Yeah, housekeeping has to go there. Maybe even a housekeeping supervisor or manager has to inspect it after the housekeeper, and it's just complicated.
It is.
Also, it's not in every system. It's not easy to change a room for someone who has already checked in. So it's just complicated. But
it looks much easier than it actually is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But what I've been hearing is like, bed is too small, like
these complaints.
Yeah, like these complaints that the bed is too small, closet space is not enough, bathroom is too small, actually the room is too tiny, like they want a bigger room. Like you should have booked a bigger room.
I have one, this is my favorite complaint of all time. We had like these rooms that the ceiling wasn't like fully straight. It was like a tilted ceiling, and it was like a very nice room category. Right. And it was a very, very nice room. It was pretty big, and then in the bed part, the ceiling was tilted. So then these customers came and said, yeah, we can't sleep because the ceiling is tilted. It's like it's so tough to be in there that we have to get an upgrade. I was like, yeah, sure.
So what did you do?
I think actually it was during the evening, and we had one higher room category available,
so
and it was that.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And they were there for I think 1 or 2 nights. So I was like, okay, whatever. Here you go, welcome, and they were happy.
50 euros, hard cash.
Yeah,
you got it.
Thank you. Yeah, but there's these interesting complaints, but that's actually one of our next themes coming up.
Yeah, other stories.
Yeah,
other stories are complaints, but not today. All right, so we actually had this new employee who wasn't too familiar with the concept of upgrading and the concept of that if we upgrade someone from garden view to an ocean view, ocean view is more expensive, and that they should pay the difference.
Yeah,
I mean it's just common sense. If you book something cheaper, you get the cheaper one. If you pay more, you will get something more.
Exactly.
And a lot of people actually like they just assume that they will get a upgrade. And this guy was new, and he was like not familiar with the industry. He was not familiar with the upgrading concept, and he was always like saying yes. So people, if you
he was a good customer server.
100% sure. However, if you left him alone and someone came to ask an upgrade, he's like saying, like someone comes like, yeah, my room sucks. Can I get an ocean view room? Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Absolutely. My pleasure. And he actually ended up one day, he gave so many, like during my lunch break, he gave so many upgrades. Well, so many, 4 or 5.
Well, that's
quite a lot. Yeah, I kept long lunch breaks. No, but he overbooked us. From those categories because he was like, yeah, sure, okay,
just
there's
upgrading
and going. So we got overbooked from those. So obviously then, well, easy fix. We had to then, from people who had actually booked the ocean view, we might have put them into a suite, or we actually had an ocean premiere.
Okay, so you could still upgrade them as well. Yeah, further on. Okay. Well, then it's fine.
Just just extra work.
Yeah.
So I obviously easy fix, like, hey, you have to learn how to say no to these kind of upgrade requests.
Yeah.
And the idea, we have to wash out the idea of people assuming that they can get an upgrade just because they bought something from the hotel. Like, we are already your customer. Why don't you upgrade us? I made up this kind of a hamburger example. Oh yeah.
Wow,
So,
you have these own theories.
I have my own theory. So obviously I don't go to McDonald's and I buy a hamburger and I'll say like, yeah, can I get a fries and a drink? Like, I'm already your customer paying for it. Like, they're obviously gonna say like, there's price for that, so you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't differ at all. So you will get what you pay for. That's the bottom line. All right.
Yeah.
That should be a given. Like, everybody should know that, but not everybody knows that.
No.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm actually if I should, because when you're a front desk receptionist, the managers tell you like, yeah, now is the day you can try to upgrade people and like get the extra cash in. And I don't really like that. I'm not really
upselling, basically?
Yeah, no, because it's easy if they come earlier and then you can say, yeah, sorry, your room is not yet ready, but we would have this one and it's 50 euros extra per night. Then that was the thing I was doing. But I can't like, yeah, would you like, it's pretty okay, it's a bit nicer, I don't like the upselling part.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
I usually try to cut the deal, kind of. And I even lied, like, how much it is actually. And like, I lied about like, cutting a good deal to them, even though it's
special price, my friend.
But it's special price for everybody, and I might say like, well, obviously the room prices were quite high in the hotel I was working, so it might be like the difference might be even 300 euros or $300 a night, and I would like, yeah, no problem, $75 a night for you. I like, but that might have been our upgrade fee for the one night. If they come late, we're not gonna necessarily sell that room anyway, so why not? So that was nice. Upselling is not necessarily something, especially if it's kind of mandatory.
Yeah.
Well, I don't try not to give out too much, but I was in the summer in one job interview here in Helsinki in a quite big hotel, and they asked me if I agree that basically selling customer service is good customer service, like that they would get the, like, I really understood it so that their customer service is selling.
Yeah.
So even though you're just there, and it was basically it was a front desk job I was actually applying to. So I just imagined that I will need to upsell like everything, and they had obviously restaurants and so on. So I had to just try to get these packages, and I've had one of courses in this University of Applied Sciences. I have to say, because if I say university, it sounds fancy, but it was a shit school. So, but I took one of these courses.
You got the papers.
Yeah, I got the papers. All right, with the stamp and everything.
Wow.
So yeah. So
hardcore.
Yep. What I was saying was that I took one of these courses, which was almost like completely about upselling and what all kind of products you can add to your accommodation service, basically, that you're giving.
Yeah.
And that's like, of course it was brainstorm. It's good value for people if you are offering something more than they expect. But if you're like pushing it,
I hate that. I hate it. It's not my thing.
Takes out the fun.
Exactly.
I had one time when people wanted an upgrade for free, obviously, and they based on the idea that we've stayed here before.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Was it like once before or like very often?
Well,
there's the difference.
Obviously, we actually used we also changed property management systems, so not all information like that was transferred.
Oh, okay.
Because it was very manual transfer, and
that has to be hard.
Yeah. But so I wasn't familiar with them. Obviously, they might tell to me that we come here once a year.
Yeah.
Well, I worked there for a year, so I would see them once this time that they arrived.
Yeah.
And they were very upset. Like, we've stayed here before. Like, that doesn't mean that you can still like book the cheapest room and get some, like it wasn't just one upgrade, like one room category up. It was like a jump.
Okay.
So
this is actually, it's a bad thing if people once get upgraded and then they come back and then they are just waiting for the upgrade once again. So it's pretty bad.
It's kind of called like you know, returning customer upgrade or benefits.
But yeah, please continue with the story.
So no, that was most of the story. They were very mad about, and I didn't want to give the upgrade.
Okay.
Just basically because my mindset is somehow different. I don't want to kiss ass on the way that oh, you've stayed here before. Well, welcome back and thanks for choosing us. Like okay, I might say like, yeah, well, we are the best hotel in town, so if you're planning to come to town, obviously you come back to us. You're not just coming because you like us necessarily. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't want to, and they were really pissed about it. That really it doesn't mean anything to you that we've stayed here before. And like personally to me, no. Well, eventually, obviously, a manager popped up from the back office and was like, maybe faking that you know, remembering them, but at least showed that, you know, hey, welcome back. How's it been? Yeah, and then giving the room.
Yeah.
So that's I've been experiencing. I actually have one story from a housekeeper that was working for a few years in this bigger hotel here in Helsinki. And they had been experiencing, obviously, I don't know how to explain, but it seems like if someone is really like in the housekeeping work and likes it, and let's say that the industry is not that big in Finland, or Finland is not that big, so they know each other, like from,
it's a small world.
So they don't have to be working anymore in the same hotel. Maybe they change hotels, and then you had just network in different hotels. So this guy actually like got kind of caught of doing this, but he managed to pull it off in the first hotel. Okay, and this this story goes titled by me goes under Man and a Condom. So there was this guy.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic. There was this guy who traveled alone, and he checked in, and soon he came to the front desk. Obviously, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. But this is how it happened, I've heard. So he came to the front desk and told that, hey, there's a like, you know, used condom in my room. Like that he's upset. He feels that the whole hotel is dirty. And he wants, well, he doesn't need an upgrade, but he wants, you know,
to switch rooms. And he wants it comped. Like he wants to stay for free. Like he's not paying, he's staying, but he's not paying for it. That this is absolutely crazy and everything, and so on. Well, I get it's disgusting. But,
well, the story doesn't tell if the condom was actually used or just rolled open. Whatever, there was a condom in the room. The housekeepers, this housekeeper I heard the story from, told me that, you know, it was true, and they got away, and they actually gave free that the comp the fees. But he then heard a little bit later from his friend who was working in a different hotel that the same guy did the same trick. Or, well, let's
tactics.
Say it must be a trick, because the same guy, the same complaint, there's a condom in my room, free night, easy stuff. And how you dispute that if it happens just once? You can't know if a housekeeper has actually missed it, if it's like, you know, somewhere under the mat or something.
Or often actually you can find things like if there's like twin beds and you have put them together. So like after the cleaning as well, there might be stuff between the beds. So if some people tries to get them apart, then ta-da! So you never know.
Gross land over there.
Yes. Don't touch there.
Don't touch there. But there's very similar story that I actually stumbled upon on internet. I'm not sure if it was. Sometimes I read the articles from the Hotelier magazine because it sounds fancy, but it's actually not that good of a magazine. However, I mean, it doesn't have any nice stories. It's very kind of from higher management point of view, from the hotelier point of view. However, there was this story about the house. about a man and a mouse.
Okay.
So with the same idea, it was in the United States, this story, and this guy brought mice with him to the hotel room and complained about that hey, there's mice in my room. In old hotels that might even work, there
sure.
might be, but the same thing. A couple of first times it was going like under the radar. Obviously, if someone complains that to a hotel doesn't tell in public like, yeah, we got mice found from our room, obviously, because that would just like repel customers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but again, doing the same trick over and over, word of mouth, he got caught, and he actually got to, well, it's United States, I believe you can Google that story, but I'm not sure if he actually got in court for that, because he was asking a lot from the hotel as well. So he didn't just get his night.
What a joke.
Yeah, what a joke. But that's those are a couple of stories that you listeners might try next time you are going on your anniversary.
Yes, I also have one story, kind of the same. It was a woman, I also read this somewhere on the internet, some random story. So she went to like non-smoking hotels, went to the rooms, and then just smoked a few cigarettes, and then came back to the front desk like, hey, oh my God, this is so, I can't be here. I have to be in a non-smoking hotel, and someone has been smoking in the room, and then she got an upgrade and
of course.
So,
that makes sense.
There's a lot of tricks to do it. But have you actually, when you have been working at the front desk, have there been like people, because I read about this $20
there have been
tip.
People.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you. You had something to do during the days. But have you been working when people come to the front desk and you ask for their ID and credit card? Okay, not credit cards nowadays. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
And then
Where are you going with this?
and then they put like $20 and swap it in your hand, just like they try to get the free upgrade with the $20.
Once that happened.
Okay.
Even though like in the United States, the tipping is like, you
normal.
might even consider that as a tip.
Yeah.
Sometimes like maybe it was trying to upgrade stuff, but there was a couple of times that people actually left me a tip because I checked them in. And I was like, well, this is great. but yeah, that once that happened, like, maybe you can fix us up with a nice room. And I'm like,
did you do it?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Yeah, like this is the right way to go.
But this is the difference, because you could keep the tip yourself, right? In the US. Yeah, because in Finland you can't do it, and then normally people don't really tip you. But if someone would do this to me, I would be like, thanks, and still don't upgrade them. Or I don't know.
What? You would just take the money? Like, what kind of jerk are you? Like, yeah, thanks.
I would put them in a nice room, but like, I don't know. I would be confused. I don't know. I haven't experienced this, so I don't know what to do.
Hey
but
guys,
I would
now just find where AMSU works and crash there with a couple of bills.
Yes.
A couple of guys named Bill. Obviously, that was a bad joke. Bad or dad?
I said dad.
I said bad. Okay, cool. What else from the... Yeah, but I was just saying, I was not actually saying, but what I meant to say also was that some people try to get upgraded, obviously, with that, but some people just thrice kind of threatening if they don't get the upgrade. And one very common threat in the front desk is not obviously personal threat. It's like, like, I'm going to leave a bad review.
Yes.
Yeah, one guy said, like, I don't really want to get mad. I would write bad online. People will want to stay with you. And I'm like, really? Like, you're going to take that card?
You were like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but if they are starting to make a scene, like, front desk is in the lobby. There's people in the lobby.
Yep.
At some time
you have
of
to
day,
try to, like,
you kind of have
keep
to
the situation under control.
Keep them calm.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Like, that sucks for the front desk agent. If people start to acting up, threatening bad reviews, they might even, like, well, this wasn't never said, but I believe that I would react worse if they would say, like, yeah, I'm gonna leave a bad review with your name on it.
You would be like, no, okay, now we try to fix this. I actually have had once, like, a pretty aggressive customer, and I was like just standing there and let him shout on me. He was shouting about water. It was very dramatic. So then after he left, he was drunk and, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
So then it was nice that the other customers who were sitting there in the lobby just came to me and said, you shouldn't have to like, you don't need to deal with this. That wasn't nice. We were like looking that you're fine. So we was like, oh, thank you. You're on my side. Thank you.
Nice. That happened to me actually once as well, that the guest came and told me that, hey, it's very nice how calm you were.
Yeah.
So
that's so nice.
Yeah, you're nice guys if you do that.
It is.
One more thing that I've heard was that, a quote, I'm friends with the owner. And I'm like, I'm not going to upgrade you because you're friends with the owner. If you are really friends with the owner...
Why don't you have a special price?
Yeah, or why haven't I heard about it? Why are you just like a normal guest in my system? Because, there's...
Normally they tell, hey, my friend is coming.
Yeah,
okay,
or you
nice.
can mark them as VIP or whatsoever. Different codes. But then you're just, normal Mark. I'm like, Mark, I don't know.
Hello, Mark. Yeah. Welcome, Mark.
Exactly. And Mark, there's a lift.
Yeah, and then you say his name 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you remember that. You are a good listener after all.
Thank you. Hey, by the way, I still have one thing that people nowadays try to say to get an upgrade.
What is that?
It's about when the social media is nowadays a big thing. There's like, I'm an Instagram influencer, so I will take some pictures. I write a blog. I do this and that. I have a YouTube, and then they have like 3 viewers.
That is true.
Nice to say because we have like 2 listeners.
Yeah, we have like no audience at all. So that's actually
And the 2 is 2 of us.
Irony, 2 of us. So that's very sad. However, that's so true. Like some people really think they're influencers. Some people obviously are influencers. Yeah. So that's good to be friends with them. But Jesus Christ, it's almost crazy, and it's almost like you might get a lot of not necessarily for upgrade like on site, but you get beforehand they do email you like, hey, and I would like stay free for a couple of nights, and I'll give you 10 pictures.
Yeah,
whatsoever. It has to be very clear what kind of pictures and how many pictures, and so it's not like one picture with like different.
Yeah, and you notice who is like the real influencer and who is like just trying to be like the real influencers really do have a plan. They can show you the like percentage, like how many views they have, blah, 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 blah.
Engagement rate.
Yes, that's right. But then some other might be like, hey, I have this Instagram, link their Instagram, and then could we do a collaboration? And then we're like, wow, this was.
And then there's usually even a compliment sentence, which is like, yeah, your hotel looks super nice.
Yeah.
I love the concept. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You just opened our website. We can see from HubSpot that you spent 20 seconds over there. Like, thank you. All right.
Wow.
That was that went straight into my feelings. Shit.
I can notice.
Okay. Enter jingle. Next topic. Next topic is something that is roughly translated to cruise ship syndrome, and Ansu, please take the wheel. Or it's a wheel. Is it a wheel in a ship as well?
No, it's roar. I don't know.
It's not roar. I don't know. Okay, let's not make it worse.
Anyway, in Finnish we call this laivasyndrooma, or do we call it? Is it just me who calls it?
It's just you. You have literally made that up.
Okay.
I had no idea what that was when you first take it.
When people go to cruise ships, they tend to go with a bunch of friends, go and party, forget the daily tasks and everything. They're like, okay, now we're free. Yeah. Free to do whatever we want. And I think some people might do this exactly the same thing in hotels, and then they just lose their common sense.
Yeah.
So they're just like, I don't know, you have probably been in a lot of rooms and you look at the room and you are like, how can this happen during one night?
Yeah, especially exactly one night, and you're doing the do out because they didn't stop by the front desk to check out, and you just enter the room and you're like, Jesus Christ.
It's I don't understand, and I don't think the people would do this at home.
No.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I hope not.
Yeah, but then there is like pretty bad behavior can be experienced at hotels as well. And I have I still remember it was during the summer we had a bunch of guys I think they had like some kind of bachelor party, or then they came for their friend's wedding. I don't remember. It was something wedding related. A bunch of guys from all around the world. And it was during the evening, I was running to their room because they were smoking in the room. And when I opened the room door, I was like, whoa, the amount of alcohol.
Anyone shouts from there like, hey, who ordered the stripper? That's
Thank
my
God,
line
no.
usually.
Your line.
Yeah.
Always at hotels.
I mean, when I'm not working in a hotel, I'm actually a bunch of guy from all around the world, and I'm just making the mess. So I'm understanding two sides from this story.
I understand. Yeah, good
all
for
right,
you.
let's go.
Anyway, but I was like looking at the amount of alcohol, and I thought, oh my God, we're gonna have a long night. Anyway, they went out partying and blah blah blah. And I came back for the morning shift. I think I started at 7 or something.
Back to back, huh?
Back to back. And the guys, they were alive.
Yeah,
barely.
Surprise.
And the breakfast started maybe at 8. And during the breakfast, when people had like a nice Sunday morning, like nice brunch, these guys were so drunk. I can't even, I don't even know how they like, how their feet even worked anymore. And then during the breakfast, some people, some of the guys ran there with just their boxers on, and then they ran down the street, came back, they were just like shouting, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. And then I was like, okay guys, a glass of water would be probably a nice idea now. Please go to your room. We have this breakfast going on. And they was like, and then, okay, they...
so how were they again?
I can't do it again. It came from my heart.
All right,
yeah. Well, they went to sleep. And I knew that they're...
In the morning at 8 something.
Probably at 10 o'clock or something. And we had checkout at 12. And I knew that all of the guys had their flights during the, like, maybe 5 o'clock during the day or something. Well, checkout time came, checkout time went, and nobody came, so it was time to...
Nobody came to check out, huh?
Yeah, no.
All
so
right.
it was time to go and knock on some doors.
Of course.
We tried to call them, no answer, and then I put on the, the security button if something happens, and my colleague stays at the front desk.
A bullet vest and a helmet and everything.
A gun.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and then my colleague stays at the front desk, and she puts on, like, she can check the cameras and check where I'm going. So if someone jumps on me, she knows what to do.
I mean,
we were fully prepared.
Why would someone jump on you?
No, drunk guys, they were so drunk, so their brain wasn't working. Anyway, you went there knocking on the doors, and that was the time when you were like, wow, this happened during one night. The room was kaboom, and the guys were wow, their eyes were like red, and they looked horrible. Oh, sorry guys, but you really looked horrible.
You guys, you know who you are.
Yes. No, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
This would be the time when they jump on me. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then this was like a cruise ship syndrome, because they forgot totally, like, the common sense and maybe their behavior. And I just said, you have 30 minutes to go, so you make it to the airplane, so you can just like take your bags and leave. Thank you.
And they did.
But oof.
Did you call a cab?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
They didn't make it. Let's just say. Let's be fair. Hey guys, if you are listening, you guys who
exactly. I was like, why are you
I'm to just describe you guys. If you're listening, send us an email, fdsurvivors@gmail.com. Did you make it to the airplane or not? Please do not. I actually had only one topic in my notes that I was preparing, and it was,
Jonas is so serious. He has like notes and everything. I was like, I'm just gonna talk.
Bad. Yeah, you only have an envelope that you write. I had only like weddings, and I just have. This is exactly what happens in weddings. People well, if it's small hotel, some like, people for the wedding, they might even book the whole hotel, like quotation marks, whole hotel, because they might not actually book all of the rooms. And obviously the other rooms are left to sell. So we had actually a situation where 90% of the hotel was booked for a wedding group, and then the remaining 10% was just a normal couple just trying to relax their stay.
Yeah.
And the 90% went crazy.
Oh
like
my.
They went crazy nuts. And it's just they just get so loose and like I'm not even sure which ones are worse. Are they the best men or are they the bridesmaids? Because both groups are very difficult. Very difficult to handle.
So maybe it's not the cruise ship syndrome, it's just a wedding.
It's probably a wedding hell or something. I don't know how to call it with a cool name, but yeah.
Wedding hell is good.
Yeah. By the way, at this point, I must say that if you have any good stories, for example, this kind of stuff, wedding hells or upgrade inquiries or stories, you can please send us a story. Please. Instagram, direct message, everything works. All right. You know our email address. I just said
it. Slide into the DMs.
Slide it in. Okay. Enter jingle. Last topic that we will cover today is actually jokes. It's very difficult, but some people have like their normal jokes, and I guess in all kind of jobs they're like very cliches.
Yeah, the same sentences.
Yeah, this could be almost like cliches, but let's try to make it fun. I have a bad feeling because my notes are quite thin when it comes to the jokes that I'm hearing.
Oopsie. I actually already sent Jonas a message yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can't think of any jokes. So obviously I have had very boring customers, or I am very boring because I don't remember any cliche jokes actually at all.
Nothing.
Just one.
Which is it?
It's very lame.
Okay.
It's always when you check in people, they're like, I hope you have prepared a very nice room for us. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that is, even like from the same joke, it's like checking into your best suite, and you're like, are you really? Damn, let's see. Okay, hey, wait a second, you're not Mr. Letterman. You're
have
just
the standard room.
Yeah, you're just Mark, who's just booked a normal room. Why would you say that? Because he's funny, that was a joke.
Wow,
that was a joke. Another joke that I've heard in front desk was that this pilot checked in and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm checking into your...
I got so confused when you said pilot. I thought you were talking about the pilot episode.
No. But go listen to it now.
Yes.
No, but yeah, he checked in. He said he told me checking into one of your rooms. Let's try again. Checking into one of your rooms with a view. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we had ocean view rooms and the premium ocean view rooms. And then I'm looking like, you have a poolside room. And I said, I'm sorry, but you booked a poolside room.
Well, that's a view as well.
And he said, we call it bikini view.
And my.
I'm like, there you go. And then I let him go jerk off.
I wonder if he would have pulled out the same joke to me. I wonder.
That would have been more awkward, probably.
Yeah. But I would be like, ha, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So that was it.
That was it with the jokes.
Wow.
No, but there's also some jokes, and I want to hear. This is exactly. I want to I'm probably going to put some on our Instagram story. If you have any jokes, front desk jokes, send it to us. It doesn't matter if you listen to this episode 3 months after it's come out. If you know something,
because we need jokes.
We need jokes. Just send it. We might come back to these topics later on. Who knows how this episode? This is the second episode, basically the first real episode we're recording. So give us a break. However, I believe that some people are just kind of jokesters, that they are walking in and they are kind of having this fun inside them that they just might
like bubbles.
Yeah, they might say anything and make it laugh to themselves, and it's really not necessarily one line that everybody can use, but it might be regarding their name or anything. But there are also you can joke to them, if there's any jokes you can say in the front desk, any cliches. again, we had this Jason who was using his humor in the front desk.
Who didn't accept the LinkedIn
Exactly,
request.
Still pending. All right, I don't know.
Like a few years back or something?
Yeah, a few years back.
Anyway.
Good times. I know that. Well, now it completely distracted me from the topic. I noticed that already, even though we haven't even published at this point that we record, we haven't actually published anything on social media, but we created our account. I already noticed that a few old colleagues of mine started to follow, so I'm kind of nervous if I insult you guys. Nope.
No.
Well, but if you happen to be close friends with Jason, just go to his house and throw a rock through his window.
Okay,
which
we're in that level.
Accept Jonas's request. All right, let's move on to Jason's jokes. So these are the jokes that any front desk employee can basically use in a situation like this, but it's very about the situation comics. Like we had a shuttle service, which meant that we have the bellboy who was driving people from the hotel to a restaurant. Quite nice service. And people obviously oftentimes come to the front desk and they're like, yeah, we would be ready for the shuttle, or is the shuttle here? And then Jason would just say, like, randomly at some point, like, yeah, just look for a red Ferrari over there in front of the door. Even though it was like a Honda Odyssey, like it's a big van. It was not a red Ferrari. It's like that kind of joke that is very, nobody is like.
Didn't that even that confuses people?
Obviously, but I think everybody should know that's a joke.
Yeah.
Also, when people are checking in, if there's maintenance noises, for example, coming, like there might be Jason, good old guy, just confused people by saying like, yeah, they're just getting a room ready, no problem, it'll take long. You're like, huge drilling sound, like
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
And no worries.
Okay, and then the last one that was actually my favorite. So we had a turn down service, and those people who don't know what turn down service is, it tells that you have not had money to be in a very nice hotel, but it's something that in the evening time, housekeeper usually, or I don't know how to call it, otherwise turn down servant comes to your room and turns off the blinds a little bit, like puts like a bed ready to that you don't have to take the cover out from the bed, but you can just come home from your dinner and basically just go to bed smoothly. They might even put some chocolates on the pillow and like slippers next to the bed and like put the night lights on. So that's turnout service, and we had that. And there was these people who came to the front desk to tell like, hey, there was this lovely Mexican woman putting chocolates on our pillows when we were going back to our room. And Jason was like, oh my God, she doesn't work here. Like,
what?
And there was like 3 seconds of like pure silence, like the guest was like, what? But yeah, that was a funny joke. That was like a funny joke, really. Obviously he says I'm just joking. It's one of those guys you must like in movies and TV shows, especially like Americans. You do this a lot, like some of these guys, you're like saying something a little quiet and just joking with you, and like taps you on the back.
Oh my, I would be confused
24/7. That's funny personas.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So no other jokes?
Nah, I have one, but it's not even a joke. It's like...
Well, please tell.
I don't know.
You're not hyped for it. It's weird because we are actually pretty fun people. We joke a lot, but we don't have any jokes. But maybe it's a good thing. We're like naturally just funny.
Those jokes as I said, it's just like being in the moment and reacting to the moment, not necessarily something from the textbook or joke book in this case. However, like it's kind of it's not really a good joke. But if someone's like a couple comes to check in, and I would be the front desk agent, and the guy is like, all right, we're here to check in, and I'm like, I'm just checking out your girl, so I check in, check out joke, which probably is very rude and not professional at all. But you can just take a little scroll from head to toes and that was so
bad.
That was so lame.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I tried, all right. I tried. That's my notes.
Good notes. Should have skipped that last one.
Okay, hey, we are ending this episode right here. You know where to find us from social media. Please let us know on some way. What do you think of the podcast? We have a lot of good stuff coming up. Hopefully, we have at least a lot of topics that people from hospitality industry and front desk agent jobs, they will relate, hopefully, and they will know and share this podcast with us. So, it's a fun time and listen to us next time. All right.
Woo, thank you, guys.
Bye now.
Bye.